Guys, yeah, it's true. Just like that, I'm back with another portable Clint. Guys, I have known of this dude for a long time, but I've never known this dude. But since I've tuned in to him about a month ago, I have fallen in love with this guy. This guy is awesome. I dig his style. I dig what he digs. So I'm having him on here. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew, Patrick, Ralston. yeah, you, yes.
What are you doing here, man?
Hey, man, how are you doing,
Good,
buddy?
nice to see you.
You know, hey, nice tie.
Thank you.
Nice tie. Look at you. Look. And this is for me. I mean, is this true?
Yes, I want to look good.
I really appreciate that.
The internet is forever.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Andrew, wow, it's a hot one today.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little overdressed.
Yes. No, I dig it though. I
Yeah.
really see. That's the reason why I say I like your style with everything you do. But we're going to get to all that. First of all, I was going to ask my big question that I like to ask is, when did you decide to move to Hollywood? But because I've been watching you over the past month when we became friends, you have been playing around with Hollywood stuff when you were living back from where? Where are you from?
Kansas City, Arizona, New York, Rhode Island, San Francisco.
Okay. You filmed a lot of videos.
Yes.
Tell me about your love of filming videos at a young age.
It started with my brother. My brother had a Super 8 camera when we were really young in Arizona, and he was enamored with Steven Spielberg. He wanted to move out to Hollywood and become the next Spielberg, who didn't. But he would cast me as his actor because that was convenient. So he was 6 years older. I was around 8 years old, and so we'd make these films, and that really inspired me, I think, to want to be an actor. Because I actually remember telling my mom, like, she asked me what I wanted to do, and I actually remember the moment saying, I want to be an actor, and it was because of that.
How old were you at that age?
9.
Okay, but see, here's what I'm digging about you. Those videos that you made, you and your brother, you're still using those today. You're messing around with those videos today and making them current today. Can you tell me a little bit about that, please?
Sure, yeah. As a lot of my friends know, they're probably really annoyed with my videos.
I love them.
But I kind of have an obsession with myself, like young me. So anything pre 20 years old, it gets less cute the older I get. But so my dad bought me a video camera in '88. That was when I was had an inferiority complex, really sheltered. I never left the house, so it was really my only outlet, one of my only outlets, and I just recorded everything. And it was I don't know what it was for, like, because no one could have imagined the internet or being able to post stuff online.
Exactly.
So I would just do this. I would just record myself. I never left the house, which is kind of infuriating because there was so much I could have documented. So really, that house in Kansas is like the most probably documented house in all of Kansas. But like 88 to 98, I used the same camera and I just recorded all the time. I brought it around. I annoyed a lot of my friends. So I have just a wealth of footage that I digitized recently.
When did you decide to digitize? I mean, because when did you go, hey, you know what? I'm going to start mixing the old with the new. Like, how did you think of that?
Recently, yeah. I think it's with Instagram and kind of like the minute-long kind of format. So I started posting old videos that I digitized. I would cut them up and kind of remix them in a way, take them out of context, so little snippets. And then I started kind of playing with time, and some of the videos where I didn't really want to post my friend who was in it because he's now a real right-wing guy. I don't talk to him anymore, so I just out of respect for him, I don't want to put him online, so I would edit him out and I would put myself, older me talking to younger me, in a couple of them. And
I love you, man.
it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, when I reached out to you, I said I dig your creative edits. Dude, I don't know, have you been an editor before, or are you learning all this right now?
I've been using Final Cut for 20 years, so I guess so, yeah. But it's definitely been I'm an amateur. I'm a self-taught.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I've had jobs where I've music videos. I would edit music videos and my own stuff. So I know it very well. It's very easy.
Yeah,
I
man.
should be making money with it somehow, but I
You
don't know how to
should.
do
You
that,
really
so,
should. And that's the reason why I'm like, dude, I dig this guy because you're, like I said, your edits, you're like editing movies into clips that.
Yeah, well, that's a whole separate thing. Then and now, film stuff. I'll find
Like
film locations.
Film locations from Richmond High, Fast Times at Richmond High.
Yeah.
Tell me about that really quick, and then we're going to move on from all of this. You did some clip from Fast Times at Richmond High.
I was working up in Canoga Park,
Yeah.
somewhere up there, and sometimes when I have time to kill before the shoot, or if I'm commuting across town.
What were you filming?
Commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So I had a couple hours to go. I got there early because I live in Lake Arrowhead.
You do?
Yeah, I can
You
do-
drove all the way down here this morning for this?
4 times a week I usually.
Wow.
Come in, so,
Dude, thank you so much, man.
You're welcome. I was waiting
What
for
time
that.
did you get up this morning?
6.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
used to it.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
It's the only place we could afford a house. So
Sure, I
yeah.
hear you.
Anyway, so I have a lot of time to kill, going across the large swath of LA and San Bernardino, and I'll kind of remember where things were shot, then I'll pull over if the traffic's bad, I'll look it up, then I'll try to find a clip on YouTube to watch it, then I'll go to the location, film a little bit, and then just do a kind of a then and now quick thing.
I love it.
I wasn't putting myself in them for a while, but then someone took one of my videos and stole it. So I kind of started adding myself into a few of them, and I don't really want to be in them, but it's
Andrew,
an easy
I
way to
am
stamp it.
seriously.
So-
Please keep doing what you're doing, and I think you're just scratching the surface with it. And I think people will really appreciate it once they catch on to what you're doing. I'm not saying they're not caught on yet, but I think a lot of people still haven't discovered how great it is.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of for my own entertainment. But
I know.
If someone else
but
appreciates it, then
I
it's,
do, and
you know.
I do. All right. So, when did you decide to move to Los Angeles, California, aka Hollywood?
I was really reluctant to come out here.
Why?
My only experiences coming out here were during the summer. It was really hot. It was smoggy. I would visit my brother. He was working at Universal Studios when I was in high school.
I would dig that so much.
That was great. We're really sheltered out there, and there were a couple of events that he took me to. There was a Steven Spielberg American Cinematheque event in 1988-89 honoring him, and we had to dress up in tuxedos and go to Century City. So I flew out for that, and I was a sophomore in high school. And there was just everyone there, just sitting with us, and it was nobody believed me when I went back to Kansas to tell them that.
Yeah,
like,
all right, okay, yeah,
so
sure,
all these little events inspired me to come out, but I didn't want to because it was an ugly, hot place, I thought. But I moved out here in '97 during El Nino, and it was gorgeous. Like the mountains were visible, there was fog and rain. It was just like a totally different city. So my first experience living out here was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So '97.
El Nino, man, that was like the big thing. Like El Nino's coming.
Yeah.
We even bought El Nino jackets.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think it really rained as much as people thought.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Okay, so you get out here. How do you get hooked up with an agent? What do you start doing? Tell me about that.
Immediately began doing extra work, and signed up for Playhouse West with Goldblum and Mark Pellegrino and all those guys. And eventually, sorry, I have to burp. Eventually got CU, the Commercials Unlimited.
Sure.
After, it might have been a year or so.
Okay.
Going out for non-union stuff, or union stuff, both, I think.
Yeah, because you were non-union at the time. What
Yeah.
else are you going to do?
Yeah, you're waiting for that voucher when
Sure,
you're doing extra
yeah.
work, and it never
Right,
happens.
right.
So I eventually booked a Joe Pick a spot. He
you-
hired me, Taft-Hartley, Pepsi One, with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Bodie Elfman.
Bodie Elfman was his. Bodie Elfman
His
and
guy, yeah.
yeah, his guy, big time.
Right,
Okay,
and it was cut out. But
Welcome to Hollywood,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
But you got Taft-Hartley.
I did, yeah. Joined the union, all that stuff.
Wait. When you got cut out, tell me how you found out that you got cut out.
Watching it was pretty devastating. It was just 5 of us sitting around a boardroom with Cuba and Bodie. Bodie was the main guy, and then there were the 4 execs. And I sat right next to Bodie, in between Bodie and Cuba. And I thought, oh, sure, I'm going to be seen.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I just didn't. Every single shot, I'm out. And I don't know if they didn't like my look or what it was. But I was gone. It was like I said, devastating.
Wait, okay, hang on. Did you tell lots of people that you were going to be in the spot? Was there like a lot of cleanup that you had to do? Like whenever I film, I told everyone. And I mean, I still haven't learned the lesson. Don't say anything until you actually see it.
Yeah, I know.
But did you tell a lot of people?
You probably did. I don't remember. The good thing is that Pick hired me again without an audition, which he does.
Once you're in his books, you're in his books.
He's got like a shoebox full of his, or used to when he was a power player. I don't think he quite is the, I don't think he's working as much as he used to because people don't want to deal with him. But from what I've heard, but he used to have a shoebox full of actors he liked, and you would just get a call and you would wind up working the next day, and that happened 10, 12 more times.
Really?
Like just over. I mean, there are a couple I had to go in for, but for the most part, he was really loyal to me and good to me, and so I don't.
Okay, now are you doing extra work at the same time you're booking these, or did you? Okay, tell me about your extra time because you actually use these on your IMDb because of a manager. Tell me about this.
Yeah, I did extra work for probably 2 years, and as soon as I was union, I stopped just because it was harder to get union extra work, and I was kind of going out I was doing commercials and doing other stuff. So
should we tell the story that you posted about the other day, or you want to keep that on the down low?
No, it's fine.
Can you tell us that story, please, as you being an extra?
Yeah, I mean, I've only had a couple bad experiences out here. Everyone else is pretty generous and wonderful, and A-listers to, they're really, I haven't had any. There was one when I was doing extra work on a pilot, and I don't remember what the show was called. I don't know if it aired, but it was directed by the guy who played the dentist on the Bob Newhart show, Peter Boners, and I was a huge fan of him. I am a huge fan of him. But I was playing a waiter at a fancy club, and I had a tray full of dishes. It's something I've never done in real life. Didn't have that talent to balance, a bunch of full glasses of wine.
Sure.
And of course I dropped it, shattering everything. And,
while you were filming, this is on a take.
It's a sitcom.
Okay.
I don't think there was an audience. I think it was like I don't know. Memory's a little fuzzy because it was a dark day. But so Peter Boners, he comes over to me. He's like, "You fucking do that on my set. You're out of here. You're never fucking working at Hollywood again." It's like, "Get the fuck out of here. You don't fuck around him." It's just like yelling at me. And it was totally different than anything I had watched. It was just that dark.
And this is one of your idols telling you this.
Well, just someone I grew up
watching. Well, yeah, but
enjoyed. Very different than his on television personality. So
did you leave or did you stick around? What happened?
I keep my cool, and that's happened to me with Pika too. It's probably why he rehires me because I don't
fight back.
I don't. Yeah, I kind of push back a little bit. I think he respected that.
Sure,
but I was a newbie, and I probably just I'm sorry and all that, and we did it again. And now I have a fear of being a waiter for the rest of my life when I'm as an actor. So
sure.
I just actually had to play a waiter, and I was like, oh shit, don't. I was having PTSD. Just there's one wine glass, but it was still like, don't fuck it up. So.
Okay, so you do that for 2 years, and you do 90210, right?
Yeah, all the shows that were out.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's a fun story because.
Tell me. I'm always jealous of people on Seinfeld.
It was third, fourth to last show. Everyone wanted to work on it. So I figured out how to hack into Cenex. And so I called, figured out that they're shooting a specific day. Didn't have a car, so I had my girlfriend at the time drop me off at CBS Radford with my bags. Lied my way onto.
See, this is why I dig you, dude, for you, because the love, the passion you have to do this is what I dig about you. Go ahead.
I just really wanted to work on it in any capacity. And so I showed up. Pre 9/11, you could get on the studios a little bit easier than you can now.
Sure.
So I lied my way on. Talked to the AD. He's like, "Where's, you're not on the list." I'm like, "Oh, they called. I'm replacing someone." And he's like, "All right, we'll deal with it later." And then I wound up just being able to choose which set I wanted to be on. And so I was like, "I'll be on the diner." So you can barely see me; it's my back. But I was in the diner scene on the bookstore episode, which is where the rickshaw and I think Grandpa steals a book at the Barnes and Noble or whatever that is.
Okay, yeah.
And it was great. It was, it was wonderful because I had watched it all in college, and it was just to show up there. I wish I had a camera at the time to document secretly it, but and then at the end of the day, the AD comes over and he's like, "Oh, did you ever call Senex?" It's like I couldn't get a hold of him, and he yelled at me a little bit, but then it was over, and then I got my voucher, and it was fine, and I have that experience. So
awesome, man.
So just that's a lesson for everyone. Just
don't take
just lie.
Yeah. No, dude, I dig it. I dig that a lot. Okay, so you do that. When do you say, all right, I need to quit being an extra? Not that there's anything wrong with it. Right, there's a big. I don't even see where it is. Okay, go ahead.
I think there's a point when it just gets tiring. You're doing the same thing. You don't really learn any more from it at all.
It's behind us. It's almost done. It's gone.
It's gone. Sorry.
Okay, but wait. So you got tired of it, but is it because you started working more commercially? What was it?
I think it's because I became union, and then my focus shifted a little bit, and it was harder to get union work, extra work.
Yeah.
I think. I tried. I think I worked on ER once as a SAG extra, but you just it's kind of a done. You've had that experience, and then you move on to find new experiences. I don't really. Maybe that's a problem, but I don't really like to stay in one place for too long.
Okay, Andrew, when does your career shift? When do you start saying, "Hey, man, I'm making a living at this. I'm booking theatrical jobs now"? Like, what was the year that things started changing in your favor?
2010. 2008. I had kind of some lost years where I was hanging out with a lot of musicians and artists, and I was still doing acting classes, but I just could not get a theatrical agent to save my life. I tried. Here and there I would do a job, I would get a manager, get one job. It felt like it would start, then it would stop. Finally I started working with a manager in like 2007 or 8 and did a few jobs. He had a heart attack and died.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Martin Amrani. Sweet guy.
Was he the first guy who really kind of got you in this business?
He was, he seemed in the beginning, I feel like there was a little bit of fire there, but it kind of petered off.
How old was he when he died?
He was young. I think he was 55 maybe.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't until like 2010 I think things really like started kicking in, and that might have been me too, because I've always felt like I've been 10 years behind.
Sure.
And maybe that's because I was sheltered living in my house in high school, like, and had no friends. Like, I've always been 10 years behind trying to catch up to everyone else, and so all those classes I was taking, all those on-camera classes, they all just kind of gel like in the last 9 years. And my auditions have been getting better.
Is there something you learned that started helping you book? I mean, what do you think it was? I know you were 10 years behind, but was there something that you learned? Did you start taking classes?
I've always been taking classes. Yeah, I've taken them all, every single class. I think on camera is the most important class. On camera, watching yourself, seeing all your weird tics, and not being afraid of them, and kind of just removing those, and knowing where to look, where eye lines and everything like that.
Who is your on-camera class? If someone's listening right now, who would you tell to call? Who was your person?
I did Haber. I did
Margie Haber. Right?
Margie Haber. I think I did the other one too. There was another one, not Brian Reese. I did Leslie Kahn. I did Judy Weston. I did.
So you're constantly taking classes.
I haven't in a long time.
Well, but you were getting into this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, but I would never stay in a class for longer than 6 months because it's that weird. Like
Yeah,
I have to have variety, and
Yeah.
I need someone else to see me and see new things about me. So, but on-camera classes, I mean, just self-taping, like that has been a huge, auditioning has been a huge lesson, probably better than any class I've been taking. So just having to tape yourself and watch yourself and edit this, I think that's just auditioning has been the best class because you learn how to be a better auditioner.
Yeah.
So you might have to sacrifice a few in the beginning because you're not so good. But
Right. Andrew, before we go on, man, I'm going to say this. I don't like to say this often but you are one of those guys who once I've kind of started tuning into, I think you're going to be bigger than you think right now. I think you still haven't made it, but you're about to. Yes, I think your day is coming. You're going to be a series regular on a show. I totally see that. Like the CSI forensic expert who's on his own playing field. Something, man. I just see big things for you.
Thanks, Clint.
Okay, so 2010, things start working. I want to talk about Lethal Weapon, but is there anything I need to know between 2010 and Lethal Weapon?
Oh, the job here or there. I had, I've had false starts. I've had good guest star.
How many false starts? False starts is a big thing in Hollywood because I booked many false starts. So I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be the beginning to something, and it quickly fizzles away.
And then you're calling your agent. It's like, why I did that guest star?
Yeah,
why didn't that excite anybody? Oh, no one sees it. It's like, how do we get them to see it? You know? So there's just so much out there that no one knows what you're doing. Like, I don't know. I mean, it used to be just the network shows at night, but now there's so much TV. Like, I have no idea that some of these shows even exist until I'm going in for them. So, just false. Doing a guest star, like a Bones guest star, or whatever. Like a movie here or there. They just kind of, and then there's nothing for a long time. I feel like it was like 2014 when I would start booking consistently every few months. Like it was like, and if I don't have that now, then I feel like there's something wrong.
Right,
so it's just a next level kind of thing.
Okay, so I go in to audition for Lethal Weapon to play the next door neighbor. I do, but I don't book it.
Did you?
No, I didn't book it. You did.
No, but did you go in for it?
I did go in.
Did?
Yes,
okay.
I went in for your part, and I had worked with not Denzel. What's his name? The guy that you're neighbors with. Damon Wayans, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
Come on, man. Damon Wayans. Okay, I worked with him on My Wife and Kids. I loved him. I'm fine. He hired me like 6 times altogether
on that show.
Cool. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be it again. I cannot wait. Lethal Weapon, and then you book it. So, but you're great at this part. Tell me about that. When you auditioned for it, because I don't remember it saying recurring. Did you? Okay, when you went into audition, I remember like one small scene, right?
Co-star, yeah,
Co-star.
It was one episode co-star, and I don't think I would have booked it if it was in the breakdowns as being a recurring guest star. They would have had a whole new pool of actors.
Yes.
So I was grandfathered into a recurring, which is great. It's the best way to do it, I think.
It is the best way to do it.
My level,
Yeah, me too. So I mean, I think we're at the same level. You and I have a lot of the same credits, believe it or not.
That's why we see each other all the time.
Exactly. So you book it, and when you go film the very first episode, it's like one day, right?
I did table reading.
Okay.
And actually, I got everyone. It was fun. It was great experience. But everyone laughed at the scene, and then was able to shoot it. And it was directed by Steve Boyum, who was also one of the producers. And I had actually worked with him before, but I don't think he remembered me on Rush Hour, that TV version of Rush Hour.
Yes.
So I mean, it was just I think they like that character, and you have a neighbor. Of course, there's a potential for coming back unless the guy moves. So it was fortunate I did 3 episodes per season until the last season, and everything was in turmoil, and they really just wanted to shift focus on Sean William Scott because there was all that drama that happened on it, which I never saw any of that. But apparently it was very weird at the end.
Is the show over with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man, because it seems like that would be just a good show just to always watch a Friday night. What night did it come on? Saturday, Sunday? Something?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Tuesday?
But but you were great in it because you were just the exact opposite as Damien. That's the reason why you guys did such a great job. All right, so you did 7 episodes, is that right?
Yeah.
All right, good for you. I'm
Thank
proud
you,
of you, dude.
yeah.
I'm proud of you. Okay, what's next? What do you want to achieve in this business?
I want more of that. Like, I want stability. I want to the bond of working with the same group. It was wonderful just to go in and you finally know everyone's names.
Yes.
And when you're working a one-day job, you're a new person and it's very confusing. No one knows who you, and you're just bonding at the end, and then it's over and you never see them again unless it's a different show.
Well, hang on one second. There's one day. Let's talk about the one-day filming thing, so really quick, and I'm going to get back to that question. Is it tough for you for the one-day jobs? Do you get into your head more? So
yeah, there's a lot of pressure. You have to kind of, especially when you have a small part, you have to make the most of it. So there's a lot of pressure not to mess it up. And when you have a bigger part and you can play around, then there's just more room to flub a line and say, "Oh, sorry, I'm going to do it again." But when you're just a guest on the show and you mess up the line, then people are kind of looking at you like, "Oh, does he do this all the time?"
Yes.
But do
you go home kicking yourself because you messed up? Okay, good.
I've had some pretty terrible experiences of you just kind of get way in your head, and then
give me one of those experiences, please.
Well, I won't say what show it is.
Okay.
It hasn't aired yet, but there's like a tracking camera that starts way off on the other side of the room, and then it's one shot basically going through a bunch of different characters kind of thing, and it finally gets to you, and you have to say your line, and it's like, don't fuck it. And it's just a mantra going in your head, and finally the camera's on you right here, and you blank out. And they have to do the whole thing again.
Oh, I know. Oh, man.
So it's like, that's terrifying.
That is so terrifying. You have no idea how, but they don't know how terrifying that is. And it could be just the simplest line.
Yeah.
Or it could be the hardest line, which makes it even more scarier when it's coming up to you.
Yeah, technical stuff, like doctor stuff. What's that, pharmaceutical, So, and then I have like a mild dyslexia, so sometimes I'll switch words and have to. So, yeah. But just, the ease of being on a show and bonding with everyone and having the permission to mess up, which stars do, like celebrities do.
Yeah.
Everyone messes up. It's fine. You just do it again. You reset. But when you're a guest, you don't feel like you have that permission.
Right.
So that's just, it's just a mindset thing. I should just give myself that permission.
I know, but it's so much easier said than done, man.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that still hits me harder than anything in this whole business, is worried about messing up. Anyway.
Yeah,
Okay, so back to what you want to accomplish. Yeah, you want to work, you want to be able to know the people around you, but that's great and all. That's what we all want. But do you want to be in the movies, TV? What is it? What's the one thing that you want?
I want to work on a show that I would like to watch. It's not often that I'll want to watch anything that I've been in.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I didn't have a great time, and usually sometimes it can be the worst shows that are the most enjoyable to work on for some reason. I don't know why that is, and some of these high-profile shows are really miserable because there's stress involved or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I would like to work on a show that I think is like I was able to work on American Crime Story. I thought, and I really enjoyed.
And that was the first one? Is that the OJ one?
The OJ one.
Okay.
And I worked 3 days, and it's a very small part, but it was just it was a wonderful. Everyone was great, and it just felt big, and the show I loved. I loved the whole thing. I thought it was really well made. So that was cool. And you can brag about that kind of stuff.
Sure, man.
A little bit more than something else. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and all those shows that are amazing. You want to work. Everyone wants to work on them. So it's nothing unique.
Andrew, what's been the worst experience in Hollywood for you? I know you've mentioned a couple, but because I like to ask these questions, I want to know the best time and the worst time in Hollywood for you.
Okay.
Worst time was when, what?
Being yelled at by directors who are psychopaths. It's only happened a couple times.
Okay.
I mentioned one, and there's other.
Well, I want to know about the other.
Well, that was Joe.
Okay. But Joe is kind of like a mad genius. You kind of welcome it in a way, right?
I didn't realize that at the time, though, and then after time, it's okay. I get it. This is like a game to him or something. This is the way. I don't know. Like it's like it's all theatrics. I didn't take it personally. So then another bad time was being replaced on a Joe Pica spot. Actually, he was the one that vouched for me. I got the job without booking it. worked like 5 days, flew up to Napa, shot it all. Midway through, the client hated me because I didn't audition for the job. Joe gave it to me. And the client was like, we don't like this guy. This guy is not our product. And they got so cold, they wouldn't talk to me, look me in the eye. I spent another 2 days in Napa, not working, just driving around with them. It's like, well, are you going to use me or not? Finally got back, and they, like 3 months later, they replaced me with a more handsome actor who they wanted. And I still got I got a trip to Napa. I got a great session fee.
Yeah,
which
that's
was fine.
great and all, but that sticks in your mind for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, it hurts.
Did you see the commercials on TV?
Yeah, yeah.
What was that like?
Same wife, same child, different guy. But they didn't drive them. They didn't fly them to Napa. They changed it, so they just did it. They simplified it. So
all right.
Yeah.
So you got, like you said, you got a Napa trip out of it. Okay. What's the best time in Hollywood for you?
Working with heroes. Working with people I watched and having a great experience. Jeff Goldblum was amazing.
I could see Jeff Goldblum digging you.
Yeah, he's just, he's one of the good guys. He improvises. He converses between takes. He's not like...
That changes everything, doesn't it? When you
Yeah.
converse, when people talk to you between takes?
Just a good, normal, it's like just, there's no thing, like it's just, there's no stress, added stress. And I haven't really had a lot of negative experiences with people. It's usually been pretty good, so... Any tips that you've learned along the way that you kind of use? I've just been trying to listen more rather than waiting for my line. There's just this, and I think that takes the pressure off. And that's just obvious, basic acting 101, but you can just forget sometimes because it can get really technical. So just trying to be in the moment and relaxing, and the night before, definitely not just going to sleep. You've done the work, relaxing, going to sleep, waking up and doing it, as opposed to just keeping yourself up all night, with the lines running over and over in your head. And then you start to forget them, and then you stress out, you don't sleep. So
okay, but let's just say it's an easy shoot. You have a 6 a.m. call time. What time do you go to sleep the night before?
I try to go early, but I never can.
Same here. But what time do you start trying? 10?
Yeah, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Yeah.
All right. And then it's about 1 o'clock, and then you're looking at the clock.
Oh,
and I got to go to sleep.
It'll be 4 a.m. And it's like, I have 2 hours sleep, and then so.
Andrew, like I said, I've got a great feeling about you, man. Will you please remember that I called that you will be a quality working actor on a big time series regular role?
Sure.
Television show?
Yes.
Okay. Andrew, is there anything else I need to know about you before we move on to the next step of saying goodbye?
No, that's it. That's all. That's everything about me.
You live in Arrowhead.
I do, yeah.
All right. Andrew, one last thing. Are you ready?
Yes.
Say goodbye to everyone.
Thanks, guys.